So other landscape scale approaches you can use for this method would be allotment management plans. I talked about the capability, suitability ratings for soils. And you can do that with grazing systems too. You know, you can figure out places that are suitable and capable, these areas, and areas that are neither suitable or nor capable to graze livestock. And the red that you see on this map, those are all wetlands up around the Meadows area, 30 mile, 20 mile long swamp. So that was just a side project that I've been doing at work, and it's working out pretty good. So this kind of planning using soil science can cross a lot of different land management applications. That's kind of what I wanted to show here. And that's it. The Web Soil Survey that I was talking about, yeah, I think we have time, don't we? So, you guys want to see the Web Soil Survey? Is it something that would interest you? Because you can do your land with this. It's really cool. So there's the spacing page. You'll hit the green button to start. And you can zoom in, that one you did the other day. It had a couple of different. So you're going to want to start out with your area of interest, what Julie's doing here. So you'll zoom in to your property. You just got to wait for stuff to load up and then just kind of figure where your place is at. And then just keep zooming in. She's going to get into the Myers Creek, right? Yeah. Myers Creek site. Yeah, and you have to use these. So that's the pan and then zoom in here. And then the AOI, that's area of interest. And I don't know why there's a box on there. Very few things in nature are boxes, so I always go with the polygon. I don't know why they have a box option on there. Somebody that doesn't get out of the office much. Julie just reminded me that this is a place where OHA did restoration in 2014. Yep, and now you can go up to soil map. So after you create your area of interest, then you click up here, soil map, and that's going to bring in that Surgo database for our county. Then these are soil map unit numbers, so you have these different soils in here. And then here's your soil map unit name. So in like Borgo, Johnstown, Rock Outcrop, Colville, Silt Loam, there's, like I said, they name these soils from the local area. Do you want to click on this one right here?
I'll be right back. I just need a cord.
Okay, cool. So when you do this, you did the area interest, got our polygon here, got in our soil map, and look, these are all hot linked, and then you can get your unit description. Scroll down a little bit on this, would you? See if there was, oh, there's that Molson Ashy. Didn't somebody ask about Molson? No, it's Tenasket. But let's click on Molson Ashy Silt. Yeah, that'll be pretty close to the Tenasket one. All right, so this is your soil description. This is your climatic factors. You can see right here, farmland of statewide importance. That means it's highly fertile land. It would fall in the mollisol category. Let's see, then you got landforms here. Then here, I like this one, I always use this one, parent material. You have volcanic ash, 14 to 20 over glacial till. Remember we said volcanic ash over glacial till? That's pretty popular in this county. Can you scroll down just a little more on that map in the description? That's good. And then here's your horizons for it, your typical profile. It's probably pretty close. Then I like to look down here to drainage class, well drained, so it's not a wetland. It's relatively well deep, right? So you've got 60 inches to densic material, that's basically bedrock, or really dense material that you really have to hammer at to break up. Those are all important. So land capability class, here's your capability classifications, irrigated, 4E, yeah, it's good. So hydrologic groups are good to look at. A and B are dry soil, C and D are more wetland soils. And then here's more of your site components, vegetative classifications, dug for pine grass. And then here's are some of your minor soils that would be related to that. Would you scroll? And then that's just in general what that is. Then if you go up, you can close that out. So that, and then go to Soil Data Explorer. And then that capability suitability ratings from our dynamic soil characteristics are right in here. So let's, I don't know, what do you want to do? What should we do? Let's do land management. Oh, what do you guys want out of there? You want compaction potential? All right, let's do compaction potential. With that silt loam, I'm going to say it's going to bring up red polygons, meaning the compaction rating is going to be high. So view rating right there, and it's going to bring up a color-coded map. I'll bet you there's a lot of red. Oh, yeah. There we go. And that's a component of that silt loam. It's fine textured soil. It's going to be really susceptible to compaction and things like that.
If you have compaction, how do you treat that?
Subsoiling would probably be your best option. Subsoilers are like tines, and you'd want a self-drafting subsoiler. So what that is the tines that go in, you're working, and if it hits like a root or a big rock in the subsurface, instead of pulling that to the surface, those tines will self-draft over it and then back down into the soil, and it'll leave that root and rock that's in the subsurface in place. That's going to be your best option if you have that. Disking too, to alleviate that, and then get that soil covered again with either mulch or cover crop seeded in, something like that.
Will this mapping identify hard man?
Yes, that depth to restrictive feature that was in the other one, if there's a densic layer, it will show you in there that there's a densic layer. Yep. Yeah, this is a really powerful tool, guys. It's really great. And the one thing too, the trick of this is knowing how to read the witchcraft in the soil taxonomy, and it's really verbiage heavy. If you don't know the taxonomy verbiage, it can kind of get daunting. Is anybody from the Okanagan Conservation District in here tonight? No? What?
Anybody retired?
Yes.
Used to be.
Okay, oh yeah, there's Bob, okay. I see Bob. Anybody other than Bob, Conservation? So your folks at the Okanagan Conservation District, my colleague down there, her name's Leslie Michael. She's a soil scientist, and if you were interested in needing help, I'm sure she would probably help you read the witchcraft of the soil taxonomy. I'd almost guarantee you she would. So that would be the avenue to go for a private landowner to have help with this. I would love to help you guys, but I'm usually not in the office, and I'm either in Met Howe or Leavenworth or doing something else like that, but I would love to help. But the conservation districts are here locally for you guys for that purpose. The Natural Resources Conservation Service is also in the same building down in Okanagan. They're there for that purpose. They've had some turnover lately. I don't know if they have a soil scientist staffed down there or not, but I'm sure that they could probably help you out. So that is the Web Soil Survey in a nutshell, and everybody can use it in here. It's public access. Just have patience if it's running slow. There can be high traffic sometimes in there, but it's usually pretty snappy. So.
And we'll put a link to this Web Soil Survey on the website for this presentation on our website. So you can go to okanagahands.org, click on education, past events, and there'll be a soil section there.
Yeah. Any questions about the Web Soil Survey?
I see that warning, soil ratings mapping on the valley at this scale. And I've seen that lots of times when I'm looking around at it, and I'm like, what does that mean?
That means that these were mapped at a scale of 1 to 24,000. So if you zoom in beyond that 1 to 24,000, it's just going to tell you that it's not valid at that scale. And that's simply the mapping scale error. They're just saying that at this scale, there could be some error, and they're right. You know, as you get broad, you know, you can make certain assumptions broad, but then when you start narrowing that down to a finer area, like say in this room here, if we were to remove all these floor planks and get down to bare soil, from me to you, the soil could be greatly different. You know, and so that's kind of the disclaimer that they're saying by that level, that there's going to be some inherent error with the mapping. But it's still pretty good. You know, I would use it. Anything else? All right. Oh, go ahead.
This isn't really about what we've been talking about tonight, but I've always wondered, how does the water get clean through the soil?
Great question. How does water, when it gets to the aquifer, how does the soil filter that and clean it and make it drinkable? Soil organisms. The bacteria, the microbes, that's what cleans and purifies and filters our water when you turn the tap and have a groundwater aquifer well. Without that soil biology, we wouldn't have pure groundwater. They would be contaminated.
But it's the poop loop that cleans it.
That's right. Well, and think about it, back in the Middle Ages, when they had the plague, what did they do with those bodies? They buried them, right? We don't get the plague anymore from burying bodies. What does the soil do? It cleanses and it renews, brings new life back. It's the power of healthy soil. I'm not making it up. That's why I'm passionate about it. All right. Our future.
Because the bodies were unboxed, that they created them?
Came from rats. That's what caused the plague. But they buried the bodies in the ground, and you would think that the plague would still be there, right? The soil cleans that, clarifies that. It renews, and what was that term? I forgot it, I won't even remember it. It cleanses and renews. It's a Hebrew saying, and it's about the soil. It's really cool. But yeah, that's it. Do you want to put in the other slide? Final slide. And I want to thank you guys for coming out. I didn't expect this turnout for a soil discussion. Usually it's me and 3 or 4 other people. It's really cool to see the passion. You guys didn't have to be here tonight. You could be out beer drinking and partying and stuff. But you chose to be here to listen to a soil geek. So I really appreciate you guys coming out and listening. Great questions. Remember, February 12th, Mount Hall project will be hitting the streets for your guys' input. I'd like to see your guys' comments. I'll be reading them as team leader. So thanks.